This painting went from wow to oh no real quick. I messed up so bad that I almost tossed it. Stick around to see how I saved it. Welcome to Conversations with Canvas, your go to space for art tips, painting demos, and art supply reviews. Now, this is part of the Alphabet Still Life Paint Challenge, and for week 4, I'm painting D for dies. Now, this turned out a real gamble to paint. Now, I have already sketched the dies and toned the surface with fluorescent pink. And if you're wondering why I did that, just check out my video Toning Secrets Revealed, where I spill all the details on how different tones can affect the final outcome of your painting. Now, as the dice are light colored, I thought it would be best to tackle the background in the beginning. I needed a strong contrast, and this minty green is perfect for that. But why would I paint a flat, boring background when I could play with colors such as cool and warm greens, as you can see? Also, I definitely want that fluorescent pink undertone to peek through, giving it a fresh pop of energy. So I'm going to be purposefully, keeping certain areas where the pink is seeing through. And for the shadows, I'm going in with deep tones of greens and blues. This is to create depth and contrast and basically ground these little cubes onto the surface. This is the initial block-in stage. Now once I paint in the entire painting, that is I've painted in the dies, and if there are any changes required in the background and the shadows, I can always come back and do the changes. The fun part is here. It's now time to paint the dice. Now instead of going with the off-white dice color, I wanted these cubes to look dazzling white. So at this stage, I'll be ditching the colors of the reference and go with my own. But I also wanted these dice to look interesting. So instead of going in with whites and greys, I played with cool and warm tints to give these cubes dimension. Now for the shadow areas, you can see I lean into the cooler tones like blues and purples, and I even tried to bounce off the greens from the background. For the top lit side, I'm painting in warm tints like peaches and yellows. Now this is creating a natural glowing effect, as you can see. Now the main concern while you're painting white is to be careful with the values. A dramatic shift in value will make it look unnatural, so it's best to keep the values nearly close by and rely more on a subtle temperature shift to create depth. With the basic structure in place, I went in with a deep dark violet for the dots. Now this will create a nice contrast against the light colored dice. I'm nearly done with the color blocking, and I'm also loving how the colors are beautifully coming together. But somehow something seems off, and I'm not sure what it is, but it isn't just sitting right. Maybe it's the perspective, or maybe one side of the dice I feel looks too wide, or maybe the dots aren't in the right place, but I'm just not figuring it out what is it that is wrong. So I'm just going ahead and making corrections that I feel will help out to get the painting look right. So to make corrections, I thought it would be best to go and paint in the background around the dice to adjust the angles and make the perspective feel more natural. But frankly speaking, nothing is working at this moment, and I feel I just might mess it up further if I keep on working on it and lose all the freshness and the brushwork in this painting. So I'm taking a short break and I'll come back with a clear head. Walking away did help me think of ways I could save this painting. I marked out the edges of the dice with the fluorescent pink color. Yep, it's the same undertone color, and even if it peeks out later on, I don't have to cover up the entire fluorescent pink. Now this will help me see the edges and help me refine the angles and act as a subtle guide to get things back on track. With the guidelines in place, I'm just going to be tweaking in the shapes and the background and try to make everything align in a better way. Maybe I will not make it perfect, but it's definitely going to look better. Now I feel the reference was pretty simple, but painting this dice was surely a gamble, and this painting definitely reminded me that there will be ups and downs in your process, but you just have to trust the process and keep pushing through. So what do you think? Did it work? Was it looking better previously, or do the dice look in proportion now? Do let me know in the comments. Next week it's going to be letter E for the Still Life Paint Challenge, and can you take a guess as to what I'll be painting? That's all for now. Until next time, take care, keep creating, and I'll see you soon for more art magic on Conversations with Canvas. Bye.